Margaret had once been a homeless veteran, living on the cold and unforgiving streets for years. After her dedicated service in the military, she had expected life to be different. She had imagined stability, respect, and opportunities, but reality had been far crueler. People walked past her without a second glance as some tossed a few coins into her small, tattered cup, but most ignored her completely. She had long grown used to the indifference. It had been years since she had known warmth, and even longer since she had been treated as anything other than invisible. But that night, something different happened. Donald Trump had just left a meeting when he spotted her. He wasn't the kind of man to ignore what he saw. Something about the way she sat her back straight despite the cold, her eyes full of quiet dignity caught his attention. Without hesitation, he walked up to her. "What's your name?" he asked. The woman hesitated. It had been a long time since anyone had asked. Margaret Callahan." Her voice was hoarse, worn from years of hardship. She had once served in the military, a proud veteran who had given her best years to her country. But life had been cruel. After her husband died, she lost her home. Medical abuse drained her savings. One misfortune after another led her to the streets. Each day was a struggle, a battle against hunger, exhaustion, and despair. Trump listened, and then he did something no one expected. He didn't just hand her money, he changed her life. He made arrangements for a home, helped her find work, and ensured she had everything she needed to rebuild. For years, Margaret had lived in darkness, unable to grasp even the possibility of hope. That night, however, she went to sleep with something she hadn't felt in years, a sense of purpose. 3 years later, their paths were about to cross again, but this time, Margaret was no longer the woman in the shadows. Trump stepped out of his car, his security detail staying close. The McDonald's parking lot looked the same, filled with people grabbing a late-night meal, but something was different. A woman approached him, confidence in her stride. Her hair was neatly styled, and she carried herself with grace. Her face glowed with gratitude. Trump recognized her instantly. "Mr. Trump," she said with a strong voice. "It's been a long time." Margaret Callahan was no longer a homeless veteran. She was now a business owner, running a small bakery in Brooklyn. She had a home, a car, and, most importantly, a purpose. Trump smiled, pleased to see the transformation. "You did well, Margaret," he said. "I knew you would." Tears welled in her eyes. "You gave me a second chance. I will never forget that." She told him about her journey, the struggles, the small victories, and the moment she finally realized she had left her past behind. She had fought hard every step of the way. She had faced rejection and moments of hopelessness, but she had refused to give up. Every time she wanted to quit, she remembered that night in the McDonald's parking lot and the man who had seen something in her when no one else did. Trump listened, nodding approvingly. He had always believed that true success was about more than wealth. It was about lifting others up. Margaret was living proof that one act of kindness could set off a chain reaction. Just when Margaret thought the night couldn't get any better, he did something even more unexpected. Trump turned to his assistant and gave a slight nod. Within moments, a sleek black SUV pulled up. The driver stepped out and handed Margaret an envelope. "Open it," Trump urged. Her hands trembled as she peeled it open. Inside was a deed, a fully paid-off property bigger than her current home, with enough space to expand her bakery. Margaret gasped. This can't be real." "It is," Trump confirmed. "Consider it my way of saying, I believe in you." Overcome with emotion, Margaret covered her mouth, unable to speak. The crowd that had gathered began to clap. A few even wiped away tears. She looked at Trump, her eyes filled with gratitude. "I don't know how to thank you." Trump simply smiled. "Keep making me proud." Weeks later, Margaret stood outside her new bakery. The grand opening sign gleamed in the morning sun. Customers lined up, eager to taste her pastries. The air buzzed with excitement. As she caught the ribbon, she looked around, her heart swelling with gratitude. None of this would have been possible without that one fateful night. Just as the ceremony ended, a black SUV rolled up. Trump stepped out, his familiar smirk in place. He didn't need a speech, his presence alone said everything. Margaret approached him, her hands steady, her voice firm. "Welcome to Callahan's Bakery." Trump shook her hand. "I always knew you'd make it." And with that, the journey had come full circle. From a homeless veteran to a thriving businesswoman, Margaret Callahan was living proof that one act of kindness could change a life forever. Thank you for watching till the end. If you enjoyed the story, don't hesitate to like the video and share it with your friends. Subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell for more fascinating stories. Have a wonderful day.